Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Mahr's Product of the Month webinar. This month it's the MarCal 30 EWRi Integrated Wireless Depth Gauge. Welcome again. This is George Schutz. I'm your presenter today, Director of Precision Gauges, working out of Providence, Rhode Island. And if you have any questions during the presentation, use the chat feature and I will respond to your question after the webinar by email. Thank you again for attending. Today we're going to learn about the MarCal 30 EWRi portable depth gauge, a little bit about what it is, its features, why you might need it, some of its technical data, the accessories and applications for how it's used, and most importantly, we'll talk about it being the product of the month and our special promotional prices. So as you know, Mahr offers a full suite of hand tools, from digital calipers and depth gauges, digital indicators, and digital micrometers. They're all modern and feature-packed, high quality and meant to be used on the shop floor, and our prices are at or lower than most of our competitors in these types of products. We're also a leader in low cost and transparent wireless data transfer. Thus, we offer the lowest receiver and free MarCom wireless integrated software to make data collection easy and transparent for the user. And if you go to any of our Mahr promotions, you can see the family of calipers, micrometers, and digital indicators, all at promotion prices. Now let's take a quick look at the complete line of hand tools that Mahr offers. We have 185 innovative products in the hand tool world, 68 of them using the integrated wireless technology. And this family ranges from digital calipers, from basic models to full feature wireless calipers and specialty calipers in various sizes. We have a full line of digital depth gauges, from very small portable ones to very long range depth gauges. A full family of digital indicators with basic features and dynamic capabilities, both wired and wireless. And we have our latest line, which is our line of digital micrometers, which is growing all the time, with 28 standard mics, 8 integrated ones, and a whole family of specialty micrometers to go along with that. But today, let's take a look at the MarCal depth gauge product line. And you can see here, here's a full picture of the full family of our depth gauges. We have a couple in the 30 EWR and EWRi version, which comes in 3 different size ranges. You can get them wired or the integrated wireless technology. They're all IP67, and they all have the reference capabilities built into them. And we'll take a closer look at all these features a little bit later on in the webinar here. Today, we're going to be highlighting the 30 EWRi, the portable short range 0 to 1 inch depth gauge, and we'll talk about those features. But we also have a number of different depth gauges. The 30 EWRd is a version which has hooks contacts on it in 0 to 8 inch and 0 to 12 inch range. Again, wired or integrated wireless technology. We have the 30 EWR-N version, again, wired or wireless, that has a depth gauge rod which has a screw-in contact for different applications. And we also have some very little longer range depth gauges that have interchangeable contacts. These have the Mahr Connect or the integrated wireless technology. And you can see that the contacts on these, or the tips, are interchangeable, and they allow for a number of different gauging applications of depths, or say widths of grooves, etc. So here's, some typical applications that you can do with depth gauges and the different things that we do. There's typically with most depth gauges, there's a reference bar which sits on the part, and you can measure the depth directly or in a comparative mode. Different versions of depth gauges with interchangeable contacts for measuring a true depth, or you can calculate the width of a groove or the bottom or top of a location of that groove. So lots of different applications for depth gauges. The depth gauges with hook contacts are allowing, again, for us to measure the width of a groove or the bottom location or top location of that groove. And of course, the distances between those. All of these depth gauges have the reference system so that you can zero it, or when you turn it on, it remembers that last zero position. With the 30 EWR-U version, as we mentioned, there's a number of different contacts which are interchangeable for measuring pure depths, for measuring locations of holes, widths of grooves, a location of undercuts, and pure depth. So this type of depth gauge is very versatile. It's great for an incoming type of inspection area because of its versatility. But today, let's focus on the MarCal 30 EWRi, which is our very portable, handheld, pocket-sized depth gauge. And the MarCal 30 EWRi contains all the features of our newest, most modern, feature-wise and looking caliper and digital depth gauge line. Just by the look of it, you can see that it has a nice, large and clear, high contrast digital display with digital sizes here of 11 millimeters, a locking screw on the slide that allows us to keep this in position when we're carrying this around. It has the integrated wireless data interface. These are IP67, which are meant to be used on the shop floor. The setup is very easy to use with a very intuitive handling by a menu system that, with an up and down capabilities, can easily set the gauge up for its application. An easy retraction or push slide allows us to make our measurements quick and handily. Of course, all these have the reference built in, so once it's switched on, it remembers its last zeroing position. We also have a lockout function so that you can accidentally prevent zeroing of the gauge, so that just makes it a little bit more safer and secure to make our measurements. This type of depth gauge has a round 2 millimeter diameter depth gauge, so this can get into some very small holes or grooves for measuring those depths. So the applications is this is small, it's handy, it's practical, ideal for mobile use in production, in a control room, or in assembly areas. As far as measuring small depths and bores and grooves. And of course, with the MarCal reference system, lots of products out there, you have to, every time you turn it on, you have to reset the zero. But with Mahr's system, the reference calipers and depth gauges and micrometers and digital indicators, it remembers the last zero position even when the unit is turned off. And to turn it on, all you need to do is move the slide and the gauge will turn itself on. So you've mentioned that the 30 EWRi is a IP67 type product. That means it's dust type. That's what the 6 stands for. And you can temporarily immerse this in water. So if you drop it in a bucket, you can pull it out, wipe it off, and you'll be ready to go. We also have this nice locking features that I mentioned. So it's a way of of securing the zeroing button so you don't accidentally prevent the unit from being re-zeroed and potentially obtaining an incorrect measurement. Every time that's activated, you'll see a little icon here on the display showing that the lock function is active. We have extremely long battery life with our products. With the integrated wireless, there's no add-on modules, so you don't need to have a second battery and a second module to be the transmitter. With the Mahr products, these are all integrated, providing long battery life. Because the EWRi uses a slide type of mechanism for its depth gauges, it's important to have lapped guideways for that surface. And as you move that slide in and out, you can feel how smooth and easy that slide moves because we use lapped guideways. These are smooth and they provide a very low friction contact for its measurements. Of course, Mahr products incorporate the Mahr Connect integrated wireless, so it's virtually no more cost for added wireless transmission than the price one might normally pay for just a cable. You know, in many cases, the price of the transmitter on other products is more than the actual caliper or depth gauge itself. With Mahr's product, that's built in, and there's no added cost for that transmitter. Because we're using a unique data transfer method, we know that the integrated wireless is secure. It won't interfere with other products because we send out a unique identifier with each data transmission, and that's paired up with the MarCom software. So there's no chance of any crosstalk or the data going into the wrong cells for your data collection. Also, there's a positive signal on the indicator itself showing that the transmitted has occurred. The 30 EWRi is a very ergonomic design. It's very handy. It's easy to use. It has a non-slip support, so make sure that it's even in dirty environments, it's going to be secure and very reliable for making your measurements. And of course, with the large display, it's very easy to read and use by the operator. So like we mentioned, the 30 EWRi is a great small portable device which you can carry around in your pocket throughout the shop to make simple depth gauges. And whether it be a pure depth measurement based on a reference or even a step height difference, the 30 EWRi is a very quick and easy way of making those types of measurements. Now, why Mahr with data collection and the integrated wireless product line? Well, data collection is becoming a fast-growing area for a lot of different manufacturing sites, whether it's be used for documentation, controlling the process, trying to improve the process, or for gauge tracking by the serial number that's identified with the communication of our products. This becomes very important and it will become more important in the future. And with our integrated wireless, it's very transparent to the operator to use. There's no add-on modules. There's no separate buttons to use for data transfer. It really becomes part of the normal measuring routine. And it's great with its long battery life and easy operation. And like I mentioned, it's much lower cost than competitive add-on products. So how do you create a personal data collection network with MarCom? We have your integrated product, in this case, the 30 EWRi. You have a receiver, our iStick, and you have our free MarCom software to collect and transfer that data. So wireless devices really clean up the work area for a lot of users. We were the first to integrate wireless data transmission into our products, first with our digital indicators and calipers, and now lately with our micrometers. So we have a full line of products which eliminates cable clutter. We provide long life, no add-on modules, no expensive receiver, and thus the transmission is clean and transparent to the user. And of course, MarCom Professional is free. You just download that from the Mahr.com website, and you're ready to begin your data collection. And MarCom software has a lot of different features that are very valuable. We can take data from our integrated wireless products. Mahr does have a add-on module for some of our older products. And of course, we can do cable technology on our bench amplifiers, height gauges, some of our portable surface gauges, and so forth. And all of that is controlled with MarCom Professional. And you can put your data into an Excel file, any Windows software, through a third-party data collection software through our virtual COM port. So it's very easy to get data from our products into your data collection system. And we continue to improve MarCom by adding new features. We've made it more easy to set up a MarCom by breaking down some of the functions into different tab areas. We've offered the capabilities of providing an identification number with the data. Controlling the function is easy now, and we can even lock out features on many of our devices through MarCom. One of the things that's very important in completing that total package for data collection is not only recording the values that come from the data measuring device, the actual measurements, but it's important to know when that was collected, and we can also identify the serial number of that gauge as part of the data collection. So that really ties together the instrument, its calibration, history, and the data all into one file for secure data collection. And all of that is done through the integrated wireless and even the USB versions of the Mahr Connect product line. So its measurements are only possible with valid calibration, and in case of any problems with the product, you can quickly identify when that measurement was made, its results, and what instrument made that measurement. Now, as I mentioned, setup with MarCom of the product is available now, so that you can set up the tolerances and locking features all through MarCom. You can do that through MarCom, download it to the gauge, and now the gauge is ready to be set up. And we can also collect data from the gauge of a description of the product or part itself, maybe a part number, a serial number of the gauge, an identifier for the collection, date and time can all be collected because of MarCom software. And we even added a feature, this latest update of being able to go back and erase the last measurement result in case a accidental collection was made, or it's realized that that's really a flyer and shouldn't be collected. We can erase that last measurement. Again, another improvement and added features for MarCom software. So what's important is that the MarCom 30 EWRi is our November product of the month. It's at a promotion price when you order it this month at $307, and you get a free Mahr mug with the purchase. So in our promotional flyer, you can see the price of the 30EW EWRi and the iStick, and you can purchase those together to set up your own personal data collection system. So today we discussed what the MarCom or MarCal 30EWRi is, its features, some of its accessories through MarCom and so forth, applications of depth gauges. We talked about the benefits of wireless data collection, and I think why it's the choice for wireless data collection to be used at the point of manufacture. And what's most important, of course, is that it's our product of the month and it's a great value. So why Mahr? Mahr has a broad product range for industrial metrology. We have a lot of application competence here to support you. We're going to pick up the phone and answer your questions. We have a great wireless hand tool portfolio to help you reach the requirements of Industry 4.0. With our Mahr lights and our product of the month, we have great promotional prices on high quality products. And at the end of this webinar, we're going to send you an email to get a link of this recording if you want to pass it along, and of course another copy of the product of the month data sheet. So thank you again for your attention. If you had any questions, you could have used the chat function to send those questions to me, and then we will respond to them at the end of the webinar. Thank you again for your attention and hope you have a great rest of the day.